the Biofriendly Podcast. It's the Biofriendly Podcast.
This is the part where I clean it up.
No more talking about salchichas.
No more salchichas conversations.
Would you two stop talking about salchichas and say sausage like a regular American?
Seriously. Salchichas.
Yeah, well, we do. See, Veronica's working on my Spanish. So
Yes,
if the
yes.
audience is wondering, we're not just horrible people saying...
No. You guys are getting so good that, literally, it's like 50% of the time, this office is just like Spanish.
Yeah,
with you two.
I'm getting better, right?
Yeah.
I'm improving.
I think so.
Yeah.
You got to chime in there when he asks you a question.
Yes.
You have to say yes. You
No,
can't.
'cause I'm listening to you guys, and I don't know if it's my headphones. Or
Yeah.
Is it quiet?
I actually...
it sounds like there's an echo.
I think I'm rolling on top of my cord because one of these days someone got me an extender for my headset.
I did get you an extend for your headset. And I love that you're singing that classic 1978 song.
Yeah, from the Teakwood incident.
Teakwood incident. One of these days gonna get you an extender for your headset.
We need to get one for Veronica so
I know.
that she can roll over her cord.
I know. Are you still hearing the
Is
echo?
that any
Do
better?
you guys sound do you guys?
It normally is with these microphones.
Yeah, it's just a little echoey.
It does have a natural echo to it, and then in post production,
It doesn't.
Jacob does a little bit of zhuzhing,
Zhuzh. I hit the zhuzh button. I go zhuzh.
and then it's zhuzhed.
It's zhuzhed, baby. Baby.
It's zhuzhed, baby.
Zhuzhed, baby. Isn't it amazing how much more fun a sentence becomes when you end it with baby?
Baby, oh, yeah.
Like anything. You were saying that to me the other day. I've said a sentence and you said you got to finish it with
baby. I love singing it.
I love you and our friend Derek.
Yeah.
Have the same instinct.
Yes.
Because Derek used to do it all the time. He just had a baby to the end of everything.
Yeah.
And it works.
Yeah.
And you're right. Both of you are right. It works.
Every sentence becomes elevated. So if I'm like, coffee, baby.
Coffee, baby.
Exactly.
To Jacob and I, it's so funny to look up at Jacob. So the chair is
your chair
our
low?
chair low, or are we okay? If we're square, then if we're Squaresville daddy, that's good. But if Jacob's towering over me, I can't have it. I just can't have it.
You do seem lower.
I do seem.
I won't stand for it.
I love the dumb jokes.
The dumb jokes. There's this.
Are we about even, or do I need to go down now? Did I go too high?
Yeah, maybe a little bit too high.
He's like the king.
Is that it? We did it.
Yeah.
He's like the king of Siam. My head cannot be higher than his. That's in the musical The King and I.
Yep.
In The King and I, the character of the king, he doesn't like anyone's head higher than his.
Oh.
Yes,
That's
yes. There's a plot point.
That's
I don't know if that's a real thing out of Siam, but apparently Noel's the king of Siam.
I am the king of, and I'm being played by
Yul
Brynner.
Brynner.
Yul Brynner.
Yep.
God, he was good.
He was good.
Yul
He was
Brynner
good.
had some skills. That guy
was.
was.
He was. He had that stare, very powerful stare.
and he had that voice.
He did. He had a good, deep
that deep kind of voice. I mean, with my head shaved like this, you'd even think that I could be the king of Siam.
Yul Brynner.
Yul Brynner.
He had the George Takei kind of
He intimidated with his stature and his eyebrows.
eyebrows, baby.
So one thing I've noticed in shaving my head, eyebrows become much more pronounced.
Yes, they do. And you already had very powerful eyebrows.
Powerful
eyebrows. But I think that's a
Power Brows is another band that's underrated.
Power Brows. I would go see Power Brows in a heartbeat. And also, by the way, powerful eyebrows are. I think it's a gift. It's a benefit.
It's a gift?
Yes, absolutely.
thanks, pal.
Don't you think so? I think
Right.
like really striking eyebrows are like. You can, you see somebody and you're like, whoa, that guy.
Their expression is just
Yeah,
top-notch,
commands a room.
Top notch, huh?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. And nice eyebrows and then like pretty eyes underneath it. So it's the double whammy.
Baby.
1 out of 2 ain't bad for me.
You got good eyes.
I got good eyebrows.
You got good eyes. Your eyes are good. They look like cocoa.
Stop saying these. Stop saying all this stuff to me. As I wave my hand towards my face.
Oh, you guys, it's good to see your faces and be here.
Yeah.
The summer is beginning. It's almost full-on summertime.
I know.
Is the official date where it's summer happened yet, or no? That
No,
happens
it's the 21st or 2nd.
21st.
Yeah.
21st. Nice. We're almost there.
We're getting there. And then do we have summer candles? Did we get that worked out, gang?
No, we got to get summer candles, and we all tambles. Gotta get summer tambles and candles, and we all need to start doing tube tops, board shorts, flip flops.
I
floaties.
really crush a tube top. I don't know if we know this publicly, but when I put on a tube top, it accents all the right things.
Tube top, baby.
Tube top, baby. Baby. It's been a while, baby.
It has been a while, baby.
For us, not for the audience, but for us, because
for
I've been gone.
He has been gone,
For
and
those of you who didn't know.
he's back.
back.
And then right when he comes
I'm back,
back,
baby.
we go again, like literally week after next.
That's true. It's true. And this
So-
week I've been gone most of the week because we've been moving things and taking care of external business.
You've been saving the world.
Saving the world.
That's what he's been doing, right?
One
Right.
plant
Right.
at a time.
One plant at a time. Well, we're here. We're doing a show. And Veronica, how are you doing over there on the microphone? You doing good?
I'm doing good.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
look at that.
Did you hear that?
Yes.
How clear was that?
That was leaned into the mic. That was
Wow.
she's getting it.
I am.
I'm gonna start singing now.
I'm just, Oh, yes. Please.
Please, I've got a song for you.
Which one?
It's one of these days gonna get you an extender for your headset.
Oh, it's a good band.
Oh, the
One day.
Teakwood.
One of these days. Yeah.
Teakwood incident.
Yeah, it's classic band. Actually, Veronica's musical taste is elite.
It is. She's very eclectic.
Yeah.
She is.
Elite.
What are you gonna say?
No, I was gonna ask him about the Eagles.
Oh, she
I
wanted
love
to
the-
know
I
if you
love
like
the
the
Eagles.
Eagles.
I love the Eagles. Kidding me? Do you not like the Eagles?
No, I do,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people, a lot of people get tired of the Eagles because they have a couple songs that are so popular that get played at during their time, were played at every single party.
Yeah.
Over and over again by everyone because it was like a safe, everybody loves the Eagles sort of thing back in the day.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people now who kind of hate the Eagles because
Yeah.
they're just sick of them.
Yeah.
Kind of way that I would say Jacob and I struggle a little bit with Sublime.
Yes. Oh, I do struggle with Sublime.
Because even though that's a solid band with great music, really talented group,
Yeah.
they were so popular and so kind of universally accepted that you would hear them in the early
the time.
2000s, late 90s. You heard them
Yeah.
nonstop.
Yeah.
And so you get to the point where you're like, I'm sick of Sublime.
And I think that Sublime, like even in the 90s, the first time I really got it, like it was on the radio, it was fine.
Mm-hmm.
But I was in Florida and I was on a beach visiting a friend and they were playing Sublime. And I was like, oh, this is where you listen to Sublime.
Yeah.
This is where you listen to it.
It works there.
It works there. It's like reggae. It's like you have to be in the right location. You can't listen to reggae in the Alps. You know what I mean? You can't.
It's kind of like our country music discovery.
Yes. Let's share that. Our country music discovery. We were on a trip in Texas, and we noticed that if you play country music in an environment it was a sad environment, wasn't
right.
it? And,
Yes.
it uplifted everything. I mean, because it enhanced everything. But if you were in a happy environment, it brought everything kind of down.
Oh, wow.
Or was it the other way around? Now I can't remember. We had this
remember
discovery where we were like, if you're in this environment, then country is fun. It's enjoyable.
Brings it up.
It brings it up.
But God, what was that? How come I can't? We made a discovery and now it's gone.
I know we were on this trip and it was playing and I was like, see, it would work. It works here. I'm having fun with it.
Right.
And then we were playing it in another context and I was like, yeah, this isn't the right vibe. This isn't the right feel. So now we have to figure out what it is.
Well, we'll learn again, and then we'll put it on tape
We'll put it on
so that we never forget again.
Captain's log.
It was brilliant.
It was brilliant. Most things we experience in life are like that, where you go, and I know the audience can relate, where you're with somebody and you discover, you hit something, and then later you go, what was that thing that was so brilliant we talked about?
It's like it was going to change the world. Now we figured out when and where to listen to country.
We did, and now we just have to re-examine when it was.
Yeah.
So she was asking you about the Eagles because she was trying to publicly shame me because I'm one of the people who doesn't enjoy the Eagles.
Right.
So that's what she was trying
No,
to do.
I love the Eagles. I love the Eagles, and I think that if you didn't play one of their like big hits, if you play because they've got some, if you actually go deep into the record, it's still all good stuff.
Yeah.
I think if you played something that was played less often, I think Jacob would be into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that'll be an experiment. We'll have to check in and see what my experience of the Eagles is.
Yeah, I mean, Hotel California is going to probably make him die. He'll probably want to just throw.
That makes me die. And I like it.
It's just
yeah.
the guitar solo is fun on that one. I like the dee doo doo dee doo doo dee, but man, that song has been played so much. Yeah. So it's not for me.
Yeah, but you're right. He's wrong. They're great.
Absolutely. Absolutely. As we know.
Yeah.
Well, shall we get into it?
Yeah.
Shall we get into the thick of it?
Let's
Thick of it?
get into the thick of it.
So I brought as in the new kind of
I wish we had lasers right now.
lasers.
Think of it, getting into the thick of it. Boom.
Veronica, let's create
Noel
that.
and Jacob, get into the thick of it.
Let's create that. Let's make that a stinger where, like, I would say, let's get into the thick of it. It goes pew 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 pew. Into the thick of it with Noel and Jacob. That's it. I'm actually gonna just take that audio snippet, and that's the stinger.
with our man-made laser mouths.
Man-made laser, and then followed by water gulp.
Yes.
It was like.
Yep.
Okay, so today's first story. What I
story.
do in the new format is the new old format.
Yeah, it's kind of. I feel like it's refreshed. It is a new format.
It's a new format.
little bit.
Is I bring a couple stories, maybe three, and if we get to all three, then great. If we don't, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
They're
man.
there.
We have pants and we're flying by the seat of them.
We fly by the seat of pants. We once joked in an early podcast that we wanted to have Pants Airlines. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
So you can fly by the seat?
Yes. The jokes have been great since the start.
Since the beginning. So the title of this article is Can Floating Cities Help Coastal Communities Threatened by Rising Sea Levels?
Okay, let's hear it.
You want to hear it?
It's a good headline.
Interesting, right? Okay.
I'm ready to listen now that I've heard this headline.
This is from Euronews.com.
Okay.
So, as climate change and rising sea levels put coastal communities around the world at risk, the United Nations is betting. They're betting.
Let's bet.
They're in the casino. United Nations is betting on technology to build resilient floating cities. Okay? Oceanix is the name of the company with an X. You know, if there's an X at the end of it, it's legit. Oceanix. A blue tech company. This is the first time I've heard blue tech.
So it's like a water tech.
I think so, or it's run by Blue Man Group.
Well, I would prefer the latter.
I would too. Yeah. You go into the board meeting and they're just like...
Yeah, toilet paper is just flying across the room.
What is the technology? Why would
There's paint everywhere.
Why would you guys tell us anything? And they're just like...
They don't say a word. But by the end, you're buying. You're absolutely buying it. Whatever it is. You have no idea what it is, but you're buying it.
This millionaire goes in there and he's like, I don't know what I'm investing in, but I really love the Blue Man Group.
But they didn't say a word, but they really drugged a lot.
Really? It's like cool.
One guy fell off a ladder into a paint bucket. It was amazing.
It was so great. I'm in. So Oceanix.
I've never been in a room filled with toilet paper before. I mean, we're buying. We're in.
We're in. So Oceanix, a blue tech company based in New York, has designed a flood-proof pilot project it says could bring safety to millions of people. Okay. In partnership with UN Habitat, the company is now ready to start building the first prototype in Busan, South Korea.
Okay.
Around 40% of the world's population lives less than 100 kilometers from the coast. I actually didn't know that. Wow. And rising sea levels are threatening 90% of megacities worldwide. So let's get into a little bit more of the tech, because I don't want to read this whole article. Okay. Floating infrastructure, what they're advocating is that we can live in harmony with nature. We don't have to destroy what's underneath it. We can live on top. Life below water continues. We are using BioRock, a technology that rehabilitates and regenerates the water and marine life. We can build coral reefs using this technology. And Oceanix is also working on using 3D ocean farming to supply the cities while preserving marine biodiversity. So this is the concept.
Okay, so they're talking. Okay, so what I'm hearing there, and I have to be honest, I fell asleep halfway through the.
Of course. I get it. I get it because the Blue Man Group does a killer presentation, and that's why they make the sale. But the moment somebody reads it, they go, snooze fest.
Snooze fest.
I'm done.
This is not interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're talking about ways to rehabilitate what's in the water there. They're not talking about floating the cities, or did I miss something?
They are. I think they're just talking about the materials that they're using. I was trying not to bog down with just reading stuff here.
Yeah.
So here's
you did read this whole thing beforehand.
I did.
And you understand the whole concept.
I did, yes. The structures are made of single platforms that are then integrated together, meaning that the structure can evolve and adapt to the city's needs. Okay? So on land, if you build a school or a hospital or housing, wherever you build it, then you're pretty much stuck with that structure arranged in that way.
Okay.
But what's amazing about floating cities is that if where you had put the school no longer works for you, you could simply unplug and rearrange, literally reconfigure the entire city to respond to the needs of the community or the whole city.
And just float it somewhere else.
So this is not something you would do every single day, but if you decided the position where the city is not the best place for any number of reasons or changes, you could actually unplug the whole city and move to
move it to a different place. So then the material it's made of is like a material that things can get on.
Bio rock.
And so we can have reefs being built underneath these cities as you move them around. This is the idea?
This is the idea.
Okay. Thank you for catching me up.
Yes. Okay.
I'm a slow person.
No, you're not a slow person.
I'm not keeping up with what's happening.
The concept literally is told to you like this.
It's the Blue Man Group's fault.
The Blue Man Group's fault. Yeah. They don't know how to write words. They know how to play drums. So that's the concept.
Yeah. Okay.
And there's a picture of it.
I see the picture right there. You see it?
I think that's
it's interesting.
It's interesting.
It's interesting.
Right? Yeah.
Okay.
Tell me your thoughts.
Okay. I have a couple.
He hates it.
Well, I think it's okay. Let me no.
Okay.
I want to give two sides of it. Okay. There's something about it that I love, which is I feel like this is kind of just a neat thing to just do, like to just put a city out in the water, and have that city be mobile, and it would be kind of like an attraction, right? Like I know in Dubai,
right?
They have their like floating island like structures that they put out there where they have and they'll put almost like these little. It's not full cities, but it's a bunch of buildings out on these islands, and the islands are kind of built in a way that's a cool design, and from space you can see these neat designs that are sort of out in the ocean. Yeah. So, and I thought, well, that's what a neat idea to bring people in and to have something interesting about your city.
Right.
So I think from that respect, it's kind of cool because you could do this and set things up this way, and if people don't want to move and are happy with where they are, you start constructing things this way, and you're going to be all right. And so I think that there's something to it for sure. I don't think that it's a dumb idea. I don't think it's a bad technology. I think that the thing I don't necessarily love about it from the perspective of just the logical environmentalist as opposed to like the person who just loves tech, because the person who loves tech loves this.
Loves it. Right.
But I think there's a misunderstanding as to how yes, 40% of the population will be affected by
the rising
waters over the next couple thousand years.
Yes.
Okay.
Not immediately, but over time.
And the sea levels are going to rise, and places like Florida that are at sea level and barely above it are probably going to need a tech like this pretty badly, because the whole dang place is going to be underwater because of how close to sea level the whole thing is.
But not next year.
Not next year.
Okay, yeah. So many people that say things like it's going to happen next year, it's not next year.
There's, I think, well, we've talked before about like in the North Pole, right, where Santa lives.
Right,
okay?
Of course, where Santa is.
Santa probably already has this tech,
Yes.
That would be my guess, because he's ahead of all of us, and you can tell by how fast he delivers gifts.
Right.
But whatever melts from the North Pole doesn't raise the sea level.
Right.
Because that's already floating in the water.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
we discussed this before, and for those of you who are coming back soon, it's the same concept of if you have ice in a glass of water, and all of that ice melt, and then you have it with water, and it's at a certain level, and all that ice melts, it doesn't raise.
Right.
It just melts.
Right.
It's just how it's already the weight of the ice is already in the water.
It's in the water.
It's already raised it.
Right.
Okay. So everything that's not on land doesn't raise our sea level. Okay.
Okay.
So what we're talking about is glaciers in Greenland and on Antarctica. And like in places in Russia, Canada, and like some of the islands up
where they're on land.
Alaska. Yes. Where the ice is on land and it's melting. And there was once a glacier that was there and not changing, and that is melting. Okay.
Right.
Now there's a lot of that. Don't get me wrong. There's a massive amount of that.
Yes.
And all of that melting definitely raises the sea level.
Yes.
Okay. No question about it. I think there's a misunderstanding as to how cold it is in general.
Right.
on both the North and the South Pole.
Okay.
And that if you raise temperatures and you increase the moisture, that you actually probably are more likely to create more ice eventually.
Right.
Not right away, but eventually, just because right now on the poles, you get almost no snowfall. Like that snowfall it just accumulates slowly over a very long period of time.
Because it's so cold.
Because it's so cold that
Right.
the moisture can't fall out of the air.
Yeah.
You warm it up a little bit, and now suddenly you can get the moisture to fall out of the air. So the shelf gets taller, but then the stuff that's by the ocean because the ocean is warmer, melts and falls off and goes into the right. So
Right.
if that happens for long enough, and you get enough moisture by the poles, you probably actually are going to increase eventually
The sea levels.
the poles. No,
Oh,
you're
yeah,
actually
the
going to
poles.
you're going to have to trigger an ice age.
Oh. I did not expect that on my bingo card. Ice Age is coming.
I think that it's going to be way wackier. Like if we go all in on this, let's raise the temperature of the Earth. Like let's do it, guys. let's go for it.
You know what? No more capturing carbon. Let's just let it flow.
Yeah,
Right?
I actually am more prescribed to the theory that well, you'd have crazy storms, you'd have rising sea levels, you'd have all the madness that everyone's talking about,
Right.
and then we'd have to use the technology to sort of combat it. And I think a lot of some people would die, but I think we'd work it out
Right.
with things like what you're talking about here.
Yeah.
But over time, and I'm talking by time, I mean like
Thousands
many
of years.
lifetimes.
Yeah.
You would actually start to see things freeze and then freeze more and more and get colder and colder, and then the water would then come out of it. The sea levels would actually significantly
Decrease. Wow.
lower, and then the ice would go really too far down and cover most of the land masses. And then, boy, you want to see some good quality death. That's when we're going to get the good death, because then you have less places to make food, and you have less places
Then
to
everybody's
do.
freezing.
It's actually more problematic to have an ice age potentially. Look, I'm not.
Yeah, the world being hot is a bummer, and the sea levels being high is a bummer.
Well,
But
and the
if we're
theory-
all covered in snow, we're hosed.
Yeah, it's just there's so much ice, you have nowhere to do anything. You just die.
There's
Everybody
plants,
just-
animals. Nobody makes it.
It's just that-
We've seen The Day After Tomorrow.
We saw it.
We saw the movie. That's
Which isn't to say that the other, look, the extremist option on the other side is that it gets so hot that you trigger a just a circulating effect that turns Earth into Venus.
yeah. We don't want that.
Where there's so much carbon in the atmosphere that like it's jelly and it's burning hot and we all die. But I don't know. It's.
Yeah.
I don't think we'd survive. I think that the Earth would kill us off before that happened.
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah. Venus once said, Bananarama once said, "I'm your Venus. I'm your fire.
Your desire?
Your desire."
I shouldn't have cut you off there. I
No,
was just
that's
trying
it.
to
No,
pitch in.
you remembered it.
Yeah.
And so I want you to know that even though Bananarama sang that, we don't want this planet to become Venus.
No, look, it's so good right now.
It's so
I think
good.
that's the thing that people miss is that it's so good right now. We have fairly moderate temperatures. We can survive in it. We have a ton of workable land. You still got enough snow that things are rocking. Like it's a good ass situation.
It is, and I think that things are starting to improve. We're seeing a lot of good news reports that are saying these countries are experiencing less pollution, less waste. So it's. I think we're turning it.
If we can keep it in the range that we're in now, and you don't have an ice age or an incredible warming event,
then we're gonna be all right.
it's like, wow, what a livable planet. What a nice place.
We can do it.
We don't need Mars.
We don't need Mars. We don't need to go to Mars, guys.
Mars is fun. Like Mars would be fun to go do that because it's like, hey, let's expand it and let's
let's explore space and let's build other colonies.
do
so
it because we can, not because
total
we
recall.
must.
Right.
Because this is a better place than Mars.
Yeah.
for us to
It
live
is
on.
100%.
It's a better place than Venus for us to live on. It's a better place than the moon. This is a great place to live.
Yes.
And let's keep it that way. This is a very long tangent. I'm so sorry about the long tangent.
No, I'm appreciative.
My problem with this is that
Those are all the good things. Those are all the.
is that what you do when you're covered with ice? No, I'm just kidding. No,
That was great.
thank you.
That was good.
Jesus.
So we need to start the
Cheez-Its.
clock. We need to start the clock when Noel says, like, I just have one thing to say. To start the clock, and then just let it run and just go. Now let me get to the other point that I want to make.
That was a mighty
You
tangent.
know what, though? Here's the thing. We interrupt, we jump in, so it's not like you can say a full sentence on the show.
I cannot believe how long I went. Oh my god!
What's the thing that what was the? Where are we at now?
What I'm at is over time, people are going to back away from the ocean.
They're gonna back away.
They're gonna move away from where the water is.
Yeah.
And then once the water starts affecting the places that are in front, you're not gonna take those things off their foundation probably and put them on bio-rock.
Yeah.
They're probably just gonna
They're
get flooded or they'll put them on stilts. I don't like it's. A lot of rich people who have beachfront property are gonna lose their property.
Right.
Probably. Right? Because it is cheaper and more sensible to just destroy the building and build farther inland.
Yeah.
Than it is to put everything on a floating island.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
I think while it's a cool tech and I think it could be fun and could be used for some neat things, there's enough land even when the ocean rises as far as it's going to rise.
Yeah.
That people they just move inland.
Yeah.
There's enough land.
There's a case study to be had on this, which is Atlantis.
Yeah.
We just need to talk to people that lived through Atlantis and be like, so your city went underwater. How did that turn out for you?
So Mark,
Mark, you lived in Atlantis,
you lived
right?
in Atlantis. when the floods came,
Were you like, oh no?
and you guys went from like this perfect city that had all these like guarded walls and all of it was great.
Beautiful.
Inland river that got you right to where you were going to be. What was it like when everything went underwater?
What was it like?
Do you wish you had a bio-floating rock that your city was built on?
Because guess what? They have them now.
Yeah.
Big bummer to you guys.
Boy, sucks to be you, Atlantis.
So
they think that there's some. They think they might have found that joint.
Yeah, I remember seeing an article that said that they think they've actually found it
in Africa. Like there's a land depression that's been revealed.
Yeah.
Since the waters.
Why is the land depressed?
Because it used to have a great city called Atlantis on it. Now it's gone.
Obviously. Have you been to the land depression?
Now it's like, dude, this is a desert now. Sucks here.
Why are you bummed, land? Well, we used to have a city.
You wouldn't be depressed?
You would be bummed out?
If you went from the greatest city on earth to literally a legend?
Come on. So to wrap up this tale,
Wrap it up, baby.
Oceanix's ambition is to create a city of 10,000 people.
Okay.
For now, the company will start with the creation of a prototype in Busan, for which it hopes to start construction next year. If all goes well, the first residents will be able to move in early 2028. So let's just see how it pans out.
Look,
right?
why not?
Like,
do you know
build
how
it-
many people are going to go to Busan just to hang out on the floating city?
I
mean, that's a great idea.
I think it's a great idea,
And
too.
that's, again, Tech Noel, the guy who loves the new tech, I'm like, hell yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Yes.
Let's be inventive. Let's
Yeah.
get out. Let's put one of these things in the middle of the friggin' ocean. What
Yeah,
the
I know,
heck?
because it sounds fascinating.
Yeah.
It really does sound fascinating. This idea of a city on water that can be rearranged. It's, being built down, making corals. This bio-rock is inhabitable. I mean, that whole idea sounds amazing.
Very cool.
Very cool. Until a
cool.
tropical storm.
Well, that's the thing. At some
a
point,
tsunami, you're like, oh no.
At some point, Mother Nature's going to punish you for everything.
I know. It's a great idea.
Which
but-
is why people live on land.
Yes, which is why people chose. Hundreds of thousands of years ago, they're like, where should we build our huts?
Should we put them in the water?
In the
on a
water?
ra-
Or should we put them on land? I'm going to go with land, guys. Call me crazy. And Atlantis was like, no, we're going to choose the ocean. No, wait, they built on land. and
No,
then
they
got
actually, if the location that they think they found is the right one, it was pretty far inland. It just had.
Was it?
Yeah, it had. Well, it was like a couple hundred miles.
Mark was like, ugh, we were 100 miles inland.
In Africa.
In Africa.
Yeah, and there was just a lot of water inlets, and it was more like surrounded by rivers and sea, like an inland sea, as opposed to being in the ocean, like people thought. Mark, I'm sorry, buddy.
Did you guys ever see the Disney movie Atlantis?
Never.
Oh, I mean, maybe it's DreamWorks. I can't remember.
No, it's Disney.
It's Disney?
Yeah, they made they were about to make a series for it.
I really liked that one. Yeah. I really liked that movie.
You know, it just didn't have enough death of a parent.
And it didn't have music, right? There was no music. There was no like, and we found Atlantis.
Why weren't you involved?
that chorus line I just sang right there sounded like a Billy Joel, like, and we found Atlantis.
Oh, absolutely.
And it was sinking.
Too much water.
Yeah, I have no feeling in my legs.
When everyone died.
Hey, Disney, if you're paying attention, we've got a musical for Atlantis sung by Billy Joel. Yeah. All right, we're going to move on to our next story.
Oh, we have another one.
Oh, yeah?
You mean this new format has more options?
More options.
Now featuring more options.
You get more shows for the price of one on the Biofriendly Podcast. Okay,
see how long this tangent goes.
Yeah, let's see. Start the clock, ladies and gentlemen. Ready for this one?
Let's do it.
Human hair.
I'm out.
No, I quit. Human hair is a surprising secret weapon for cleaning up oil spills.
Okay. Okay.
I'm going to tell you right now that Veronica read this headline to me while I was in the kitchen, and I go, that is the most bio-friendly podcast. This is so us, because it's weird.
It's
so
a
weird one.
It's awkward.
Right? It's so weird. Okay. And by the way, the little title underneath the
headline. I see people just being held by other people with their heads down, like mopping up oil.
Mopping up oil, right? So it says underneath the headline, by the way, it says, in a perfect world, we wouldn't need this solution, which is a little judgy.
I hate. Can I say it out loud? I'm gonna.
Okay, go for it.
I hate that environmental publications always have to have the caveat.
Yes.
Every single time they report anything, can we just officially put it in, like, if your magazine's called Green Times, America, or Environmental Source, or We Love the Planet.
Yes.
We freaking know that you don't want global warming, that you don't want pollution, that you're not in on the plastics, that you'd like for the farmland to have better soil, that we know
we don't need you to
that
say
you're in on that. So let's not put the caveat in every friggin' article. It's like, incidentally, if we weren't burning so many carbon emissions, this would be unnecessary. Kadoy!
Kadoy. It's so true.
I'm not on the freaking website called Green Matters.
I know.
Because I'm looking for an explanation as to why global warming's bad.
Right.
You freaking idiots. Get to the point. Just tell me about the stupid hair picking up the stupid oil.
It's so true.
Without the caveat.
It's so true, because you go, human hair is a surprising secret weapon for cleaning up oil spills. That's all you need to say.
That's all you need to say.
You don't need to go, well, if you guys did a little bit better, then maybe we wouldn't have to use human hair.
Look, it's better to not have oil spills in the first place. No. Get your beeper button ready. Okay. No
Write that down, Veronica. We gotta do that.
Who wants oil spills? Is there somebody who's sitting up in their friggin' cabana like, it'd be really great right now if we just covered the whole world in oil, man. Let's see if we can punch a hole in the Valdez. Oh, I would love to see more dead seagulls on the side of the beach. Sea lions. Those guys.
Noel is coming in hot. Noel's coming in hot.
I mean,
it's true. It's true. It's true, man. Come on.
It's maybe it's one thing if your magazine is called Burning Oil,
right, and then
Daily,
Burning Oil Daily. Oh, we canceled our subscription to that.
Burning Oil Daily.
I did not like that magazine at all. I really felt like they were sending the wrong message.
Maybe you guys could say it.
Yeah, I know.
But even the New York Times, like at this point, if your readership hasn't established that you're pro-green,
that you don't want to pollute the earth, that you don't want these problems, you don't need these aside. You don't need the by the way.
It's such a signal, I guess, and maybe that just frustrates me.
It's a virtuous signal. Yeah. Absolutely. Now back to greasy hair. Mm-hmm. Ready? Back to greasy hair. So, anyone who has experienced the unbridled joy of a good hair day knows just how powerful a head of hair can be. In the hands of a skilled stylist, your hair can help you boost your self-confidence, express your unique personality, blah, 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 blah. In the hands of matter of trust,
Are they talking about eyebrows, I hope?
I think so. Eyebrows.
1 out of 3 of us is like,
They are talking about eyebrows. That is human hair.
Yeah.
So when you go to your
having a great hair day, luscious locks, going down the beach, running your fingers through your mane.
Noel's gonna take
like,
my iPad and fling this across the room and be like, "Well, that was a great podcast, Jacob.
Well, someone told me I have nice eyebrows.
You have nice eyebrows." In the hands of Matter of Trust, however, an ecological nonprofit that collects and recycles waste fibers like hair and fur clippings, fleece, feathers, and laundry lint, your hair might be able to do something more impressive: help save the environment. For more than 20 years, Matter of Trust has been collecting hair and fur donations from hair salons, pet groomers, and farmers around the world for the purpose of making hair mats that can assist with oil spill cleanups.
This gets grosser and grosser.
It gets really gross. Here's what's crazy. Okay, so typically oil spills on land are cleaned up using polypropylene mats that are effective but environmentally problematic. Would you agree?
Yes.
Okay. So I didn't know that they used oil spill mats without a proper. I didn't know that.
Yeah, you want to absorb it.
Yeah. And there's a mat that they roll out.
Yeah, that's like you want to absorb it so that you can get it away.
It's like a yoga class, and you go, we need to borrow all these,
Yeah.
and they lay them out over oil spills, and that's what they did.
It's like when you spill water.
Yeah.
Right? Well,
Yeah.
then the quickest way to get the water up is to throw in some paper towels.
Right.
Then they absorb all the water. Then you can take the water away.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So it basically says, polypropylene is not biodegradable. It's not. So hair and fur, on the other hand, eyebrows too.
Yeah. Thank you. Someone finally cares. That's the virtue signal I'm looking for.
That's the virtue signal. Are non-toxic, biodegradable, renewable, and extremely absorbent. Human hair, for instance, this is an interesting fact, can absorb approximately 5 times its weight in oil. 5 times.
Wow.
According to Matter of Trust, which says a pound of hair can soak up a liter of oil in less than a minute.
I mean,
yeah.
What are we even doing? Why are we leaving it on our heads, everybody?
I know. Well, I know this is true because I have a teenage son, and I've seen how much oil he can get. I was mean. I'm sorry, son. I love you so much.
He's an awesome
He's
kid.
a good kid. Every now and then, though, I'm like, please shower.
Well, okay. So that everybody can get the context of the joke. He's a teenage boy.
He's 13.
He's 13. A teenage boy who is, who is like full.
Yes.
Puberty's going.
Puberty is in full swing right now.
All of the things that you can imagine when you have a smelly teenager growing old in your house.
Absolutely.
Right? So it's the joke is, I think, understandable to anyone who's a parent.
Yeah.
And not intended
to
hurt a wonderful kid.
Not meant to be a jab. It was really a cheap shot at teenage pubescence.
Yes.
That's what it was.
Because he is a wonderful kid.
Because all teenagers deal with this. I dealt with it. You dealt with it. We all dealt with
being that smelly teenager.
Our smelly teenager, and our bodies and our skin and our hair were gathering oil like crazy.
Yes. And then you have the zits.
And the zits.
Oh
boy.
And it's it's a disaster.
Yeah.
It's a mess.
Yeah.
It's a mess. And because you're only 13, you don't think as much about like, well, what can I do to combat this?
Right. Like, how can I stop this?
Yes. Like, should I be showering, daily?
Yeah. It is unfair because when you're little, you don't have to clean that much. Your little body it doesn't get stinky. You don't have those oils yet. So you spend so much of your life kind of not having that problem up until a certain point.
Just playing.
And then now, as my perspective now as being a 40-something man, I spend 15 minutes out in the sun. I'm like, oh, God. I better go shower. You know what I mean? It's like, I know that my body is going to be stinky very fast. And so you have to learn that over time.
Right.
And for teenagers, it's all new.
You have a greater awareness of your sweat glands.
I do. My sweat glands and I are old enemies. My nemesis, my sweat glands.
I'm just going to grunt with you.
I am a sweaty guy. I'm a sweaty guy. That is something that everybody here wants to know. I'm a sweaty guy. I always have been.
But a lovely guy.
I am a kind and loving person, but I am sweaty. So much so that when I was paired up with like my show choir partner, it was always kind of like I would look at them and be like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It just leaks from every pore, and I'm so sorry. Yeah. So I run a little hot. Is what I'm trying to say. So anyway, back to
in more ways than one.
Hey-oh.
And I did the eyebrow move with that too.
Yeah, you did
the purpose
those sexy eyebrows. So anyway, that's the basic. This organization is trying to use these hair mats that they've created to help the organization has produced more than 40,000 hair mats and more than 300,000 booms, which checks them for contaminants like debris, dirt, and lice. They have to go through all that hair. Oh my gosh. Then separates the hair and spreads it over a frame, which subsequently runs through a custom-built felting machine in order to produce finished hair mats. So this whole idea is soaking up oil spills with hair. That's basically it. But I just thought it was interesting.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
It's a good idea, right? Yeah. There's no harm. Because there's tons of hair waste, if you will. You know what I mean? Like, because it happens. You have animals, you have pets, you have groomers.
You have wives?
You have wives, daughters. You have long-haired people in your life, and there's hair everywhere. And the good thing is that biodegrades. Hair doesn't last forever. It goes away.
Speak for yourself.
The jokes you've gotten on this one have been killer. So good. But that I didn't have as much depth on that story. I just thought it was an interesting.
It's an interesting, wild.
It is.
Like crazy story. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
You got to do something to get it up. What the hell?
Exactly.
It's if they think it works pretty well, and someone's willing to put the time and energy in to do it.
And gathering up the hair.
Then let's gather up some hair.
Let's do it. Yeah, the end result. Here, I'll show a picture of these things.
Right here.
Those are.
So basically, it's just a bunch of sausages.
I know it's salchichas. It looks
all
like
comes
sausages.
around.
It looks like sausages, doesn't it? Yeah. That's crazy. Here, take a look. I'm not kidding.
La Playa Salchicha. That's what they're going to rename it, right?
All right, and then our final. Should we do another story? Well, no, we've actually been running a good amount of time.
Hey, you know what? Tangents worked. So we got that for next week. Save
I'm going to save it then. I'm going to save
that
it
story
because I don't know if Noel's going to throw my iPad on the next one.
You bet I will. Oh my gosh.
The next one's fine. The next one's is an interesting invention. She's trying to remember. It's okay. We'll save it. This was a good show.
Yes.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're
Let's do this even more so that Noel
She's
feels so Noel feels out of the loop, right?
Yeah. That's the goal.
Yeah.
Keep the loop here and then me way over here.
So floating cities and hair mats.
Yeah.
That was the theme of this week.
I don't remember the tags in the slightest.
Oh, one of them was something about my brain and it rebuilding.
Yeah.
I just don't. Jacob's brain is constantly rebuilding itself.
Okay.
That's one.
And that was it.
That was it.
That's
Because there was another one we kind of toyed with and
But
it's already gone.
it.
It's already gone.
Good.
Yeah, someone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're gonna have that one, and because you're ASMRing, I'm gonna let you take the Jacob line because it's better that way.
Yeah. Because otherwise you're talking about yourself.
Talking about myself,
it's
which is
It's
weird.
awkward.
It's just weird. So we have been your beacon of light in a gloomy environment.
Jacob's brain is constantly rebuilding itself.
And then there was this one that you said that we did an episode where you did your Aussie and you were like eucalyptus, growing eucalyptus or eating eucalyptus since 1923 or something like that. It was
that's good.
so funny. I can't remember what the year was, but it was so funny how you said it. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, have you ever noticed how when we do our show, the moment the show is over, everything that you said is gone?
It's all gone.
It's the weirdest thing.
I have gone back to shows and I've gone,
Oh, yeah.
I don't
Did that happen?
remember this at all. At all. It really is an interesting time capsule. When Noel and I are very old and you need to snap us out of it, put Biofriendly Podcast episodes over our ears.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when we're staring at the walls, just like throw headphones on us and it's going to be
When
like...
I'm in a comatose, drugged out state,
Put the Biofriendly
staring at a wall.
Yes. Put a Biofriendly Podcast over our ears and we'll suddenly be like, it'll be like, we are your beacon of light. And you'll be like, I'm back. I'm back, baby.
Baby. And since Veronica is young enough to be our daughter,
Yes.
she'll actually remember to do that.
She will. Veronica, can we ask you to do that? Like when we are just completely lost and gone, will you visit us and throw headphones on us?
That's the first thing I would do.
Oh, I love it. Oh,
wonderful.
So that's good night for us. And Veronica says,
Good night. Bye.
yeah, she did.
It's the Biofriendly Podcast. It's the Biofriendly Podcast.